Hey everybody, it is Zach here from the Ed Boys, and welcome to my Make Money with Agility guide. Agility is one of the least popular skills in the game, and it's usually only trained when one has an agility requirement that they have to get out of the way. There are a few ways to profit with agility though, and generally if you make some cash when training, that tends to motivate players a little bit more. You all have been showing a lot of support recently, and I do appreciate that a lot. If you've been enjoying the content, be sure to subscribe and check out my Twitch, which I have left a link in the description. I'll start off with an option that most players should be at least aware of. Rooftop Agility was actually a player-recommended addition to the game, and in my opinion, it kind of saved agility in a way. I still find it easy to hate on the rooftop courses, but without these options, agility was even worse, and there's no way I would have wanted to train it. There's a bunch of different rooftop courses around the game. You will unlock a new one every 10 levels, starting at 10 agility with the Draenor rooftop course. When taking laps around the rooftop courses, you have a chance of a Mark of Grace appearing on the course. These marks can be traded in for either a piece of Graceful Clothing or a pack of Amylase crystals. Graceful Clothing is one of the most important sets for an account to get, so first of all, you should be willing to buy Graceful with these marks. I will talk about why Graceful is so great a little bit later in the video. The Amylase crystals are used to make stamina potions. Since stamina potions are widely used, they are pretty commonly high in demand, making this a remotely consistent moneymaker. Each pack of Amylase crystals costs 10 marks of grace and contains 100 crystals. At the moment, each crystal is worth 1.2k, making one mark of grace worth about 12k at the moment. The pace that you get marks of grace depends on your level and which course you are on. Higher level courses tend to have a better chance to spawn marks, but the course with the best rate is the Canifis Rooftop course. I normally expect 15 to 18 marks an hour from this course, which would be like 180 to 210k GP an hour at the moment. Not a ton of money, but any profit while you're doing agility is nice. The unfortunate part of Marks of Grace is that once you're at least 20 levels above a course requirement, then the spawn rate is reduced drastically. You need 40 agility to start the Canifis course, which means at 60 agility you're going to start to receive far less marks, and it's better to just move on to the Seers Village agility course. Even though you're unlikely to keep up that 18 marks per hour once you leave the best course, making 150k an hour or so while doing rooftop agility really isn't unreasonable. Another option for profiting with agility is the Brimhaven Agility Arena, which is located west of the Karamja volcano. This arena was the first place that I ever trained agility a few days after buying my first membership so many years back. At that point, I thought it would be worthwhile to train my low agility there since it was the only agility area I knew about, but now I'm aware and I do not suggest using this for agility training until a bare minimum of 40 agility, and even then I would stick to rooftop courses until at least having a Graceful Clothing set. You only need 1 agility and 200 coins to try out the Brimhaven Arena, but there are obstacles with a 20 requirement and a 40 requirement in agility. That's why I say bare minimum 40 to start here. The arena is a simple area. You've got a bunch of pillars located around the room. One of the pillars will have a blinking arrow over it, which changes every minute. To receive an agility arena ticket, you need to tag the blinking pillar. You do have to tag multiple pillars in a row to start getting tickets, so your first pillar won't do anything, but then as long as you don't miss any, each pillar after that will give a ticket. If you've completed the medium Karamja diaries, you get a 10% chance to get a second ticket from tagging a pillar. This means you can get anywhere from like 59 to 66 tickets per hour, depending on a little bit of luck. There is an award shop for these tickets, believe it or not, upstairs with Pirate Jackie the Fruit. A common option for trading in these tickets is just getting more agility XP, but you could also buy Toadflax, Snapdragons, or a Pirate's Hook. The herb option is honestly pretty worthless. I'd like to see the numbers on how many people actually purchased either of these rewards. You need 3 tickets for 1 Toadflax and 10 tickets for 1 Snapdragon. I can't imagine anybody's pulled the trigger on that. The Pirate's Hook, on the other hand, costs 800 tickets and is currently worth over 4 mil. This puts you at more like 5k GP per ticket rather than less than 1k per ticket those herbs were trying to sell you. If you're going with 60 tickets an hour, you'd be making about 300k an hour, which as far as I know is really the most money you're going to make from agility training. The problem here is clearly you must go all the way to 800 tickets before you get any actual profit, but over that time you would also be getting a bunch of agility XP, which is pretty important for any account like I was saying before. It is possible to profit off of the Underwater Agility course. I like this course because it's options for both agility and thieving. You can collect mermaids' tears and use them to buy items from the Marin's shop. The only item in the shop that really makes money is the Merfolk Trident. You can get a trident in 3 or 4 hours of swimming, and it costs 575k at the moment. This would mean anywhere from 140k to 190k GP an hour. This is slower agility XP than rooftops while being similar profits, so if you were not looking to get agility and thieving XP for those combined gains, I wouldn't really do this method to make cash by any means. I also plan on making a full swimming guide that'll go more in depth on this method, so I'm going to keep this one short. That's basically going to wrap up the how to make money with agility portion of this video, but I do have a couple notes on why agility helps out with making money in the long run, and I think it fits pretty perfectly with this video, so I'm basically switching from a money-making guide right now over to a discussion video. Agility has two main benefits in the game. It can help out when it comes to having more run energy and not having to walk around constantly, and you can unlock a bunch of shortcuts which can make a few grinds a lot faster. Run energy is a very important mechanic in the game. It's not a skill on its own. Everyone gets the same amount and everyone runs the same speed when using it. It would be interesting if you started with one run energy and you got one more max run per agility level, or whatever they tied the skill to. Clearly that'd be really unbalanced as well, but it would be interesting. It'd also be kind of nuts if you could run any faster and use more energy to do it. But again, that would be unbalanced, and that's not really the topic here. The topic here is what run energy already does. The main thing we can control with running an old school RuneScape is how fast we use our run energy, or in other words, how far we can run before we have to walk. Restore potions and stamina potions can help out with plenty of this, and they're used often whether you're 1 or 99 agility, though being able to use less staminas is a plus in many situations, and agility training can offer that. First, let's talk about Graceful Clothing. Like I said, this stuff is very important. It provides the best weight reducing clothing in the game. The heavier your character is, the faster your run energy runs out. With Graceful Clothing, you'll find yourself walking less and needing far less stamina potions. Weight only affects your run energy between 0 kilograms and 64 kilograms. This mostly means that wearing Graceful is meant to negate any of the other items you're carrying around while doing things like the Blast Furnace or rune crafting, but in a lot of cases, it's ironically a little bit overkill. Graceful can reduce up to 25 kilograms, so if you only weighed 10 kg in the first place, the extra 15 isn't actually doing anything. Graceful is not only useful for weight reducing though. Each piece also gives a bonus to your run restoration rate, which means your run comes back faster. With the full set, you get another 10% bonus on top of each piece, which makes it a total of 30% faster than natural run restoration. This 30% can be a pretty big deal when doing activities that require a lot of running, but I can't imagine I really need to convince you why it's nice to be running. We have all been on beginner accounts with no potions, no agility levels, no Graceful, no teleports, and all you can do is walk most of the time. At this point, Graceful is making your run energy deplete slower and restore faster, and that's why I say Graceful is very important for any account. The other factor for how fast your run energy restores is just your agility level itself. With higher agility, your run energy does restore quicker. It's not insanely fast at 99, especially with how many hours 99 agility will take, but take a look at an agility account that has level 1 agility and an agility account that has level 99 agility restoring from 1 energy. They both started at 1, not quite at 0. As you can see, neither of these accounts are wearing Graceful, so it's really only agility levels that are making this run energy go up. I will speed up the clips a little bit, but I'm speeding up both clips at the same pace, so they're still compared with each other. Not everything requires run energy, but anybody that's watching this video has dealt with having to walk instead of run, and they know how horrible that is. There are even some PvM situations where you need to run to survive, and if you're out of stamina, you're out of luck. As you can see, the 99 agility account is restoring run about 3 times faster, so with 1 agility, you'd only have 33 run energy to work with instead of a full meter. This only affects you when you're walking or standing still, so once you've run out of run energy, that's when this kicks in. If you're currently running, you don't replenish run energy during that time, then your run energy just goes down based off your weight. This does include the 30% bonus you would get from Graceful Clothing, but overall, you can still see the effect that higher agility has on your run restoration. There are a little over 100 shortcuts currently in the game, if I'm not mistaken. Some shortcuts are pretty underrated since they only save like 5 or 10 seconds, and it may have taken you 5 or 10 hours to unlock it. But to be fair, if you were to train to unlock to, let's say, level 70 shortcuts, you get all the shortcuts below that too, obviously. And the amount of time that you save on a shortcut is also very dependent on how often you plan on using it, which depends on what grind you're doing. There's a lot of solid money-making methods in this game that are only good options, or at least a lot better when you're using high agility shortcuts. So in this case, there's a lot of money makers where you're not making money by doing agility, but having high agility is going to make a lot more money per hour. Some good examples of highly used shortcuts would be the level 70 pipe in the Taverley Dungeon, the level 80 spikes just north of that pipe, the spike chain in the Slayer Tower, the stepping stone for Zulrah. Even blood rune crafting basically requires 73 agility since the shortcut saves so much time, it's just a waste without it. In general, I always suggest training agility fairly early in accounts. Usually I would state to somebody who asks that 70 is a good level for anybody to go for, but 80 agility really gets a 2 thumbs up from me when it comes to account progress. Just talking about shortcuts, 70 is a great placeholder because you have the majority of shortcuts, especially for a mid to high level account. There's not that many more you might need. But the main point that I want to make here is if you're grinding something that has an agility shortcut that you can't currently use no matter what the level is, and you continue to run by that shortcut over and over again, you should go get those agility levels for it. You not only will be able to use that shortcut now, but the added agility levels are beneficial for anything you do that requires your run energy. Plus, you could work on Marks of Grace if you don't have your Graceful yet, or just make some cash with Amylase crystals, which is a good note to end on since that was the original goal of this video, is making money with agility. Agility may not have many different money makers on its own, but in the long run, having higher agility can make you a lot more money for many reasons. That is going to be the full discussion I have here for making money with agility, everybody. This was kind of a discussion, kind of a guide here. I didn't want to split it up into two separate videos because they're basically the same topic. I think it made sense to merge them all into one. If you did enjoy the video or you just got some useful information out of it, be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Thank you all for supporting the content as of late, everyone. Don't forget I do stream on Twitch, I am on Twitter, and I have a Discord, which all links are in the description. Thanks again for watching, and best of luck with your agility grind.